All right, thank you for listening to or watching the Upland Down Under Podcast. Tonight's show's recording live on Thursday, the 9th of May at a bit over 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. On tonight's show, we're going to catch up on the Upland market floors, check in on the neighbourhood ratings for May. We've got the Blossom Season Pass Drop 6 to take a look at. The Upland Community Awards 2024 nominees are in. There's something going on about Mathilda Studios. We had a bizarre, non-bobbling Patriotic Bobblehead sale. And of course, the Chapter 1 Sparklet Airdrop has been delivered, along with some associated raised eyebrows to reflect on. The main topic for tonight's show is the theme for Genesis Week 2024 is Sparklet Gives You Wings. It seems like a pretty reckless move to come right out and stomp right on Red Bull's toes like that, doesn't it? At face value, that seems like a potentially very litigious thing to do, but maybe it signifies that there's something more to the story. Who knows? We've got QIPS on potential Metaverse partnerships, aeronautic minigames, and the lack of in-game voting. And of course, we'll take a look at another Upland Community Member Spotlight, care of the Dynamic Node Builders team. And we'll give away 45,000 UPX and a Samurai Aquatics map asset, which, believe it or not, takes us to over 600,000 UPX and 40 map assets that we've given away on the podcast. And it's only May. Holy dooly. This year I started tracking it just to see what we end up with at the end of the year. Yeah, over 600k already. All that and more, of course, on this, the Upland Down Under podcast. If you would like to get your hands on some of that UPX that gets slung about on this show, and you're wondering how you can take part, or if you're wondering how you can take part in the live recordings, I dropped the link to the live podcast in the NBA server Thursday nights at about 6:45 p.m. AEST. The link to the NBA server where all of the contests and whatnot, that's in the description. Of course, just like last week, before we get into the Breaking Bad news, we're going to take a look at what's currently happening. Before we have a look at what's currently happening in the market floors, we're going to check in on the community fundraiser campaign that LSlack, aka the Vulgar Uplander, is running to raise money for some sick kids. Now, I'll bring that up. Where is he? Oh, mate. LSlack. There we go. So hopefully you would have seen this by now. What's he got? He's got a little bit of a blurb here. So from May the 5th through to May the 12th, you can head on over to any of his MetaVenture shops or go directly to his fundraising page and make a donation. To make a donation in Upland, all you got to do is head on over to one of his 4 shops and purchase one of his Legits or Block Explorers that he has up for sale for USD. He's committed to all USD money that comes in, of course, is going to be donated to his local children's hospital. After the campaign has concluded, check out LSlack's YouTube channel for the live giveaways. For all the details on how to be a part of this amazing event, head on over to his Extra Life page. Link to that is in the description, and get yourself involved. You won't want to miss this one, and don't forget to give him a like and subscribe on his YouTube channel. Also, he puts out heaps of Upland related content that's sure to grab your attention, and the link to that is also in the description. Of course, only kicked off a couple of days ago. Let's see where we're at here. So this is the Extra Life page. Goal 2,500. Currently raised 20. I did see a familiar name there. Laban's put a $10 one in there. Good on you, Laban. Thanks for supporting. I did contact LSlack last night before I went to bed, and we sorted out a different deal where I've given him some stuff, and he's going to try and swing a deal there or do some work there to work himself out some USD. So if there's any way you can help support him, whether it be extra stuff to give away or, stuff that he can sell in his shops or anything like that, send him a DM. He's a pretty good old fella, that one. All right, moving on, let's have a look at the Upland market floors. Where we're at, number 40. Now, what's stuck out here? So the 90-day averages, we're back in the red here, only by a little bit, down 0.8% on the transaction volume, back under 29 million, back under there, down 1% on the trading volume also. Unique active wallets have had a boost, up 5.1%, was 81,630 last week. The tally for this week, 86,040. Total unminted properties were well and truly under the 300,000, 284,591, with 1,655 properties being gobbled up through the week. USD floor markups. Now, look at this. I forget, did we say 28% last week? Now 26% in Chicago, 26% in Oakland, and 26% in Tokyo. In Tokyo, 26% USD. Crazy. Wow,
Washington's not far behind that either.
Oh, geez, 27%. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. South Lake Tahoe, 28%. Nashville, 27. London, 27. Kansas, 28. Oof. Yeah, that is a surprise. I only looked at those because I've got it set up so they flash red for the lowest ones. But yeah, holy moly. What's still on the flip side? Fresno, it was in the green for the longest time. Now it's 71%. What do we got? Bermuda, 84%. That makes sense because the supply is so limited. Same with Rutherford, I would imagine. Yeah, Rutherford's still in the green, 185%. What else is holding on? Where's San Francisco at? 63, not too bad. Buy for just under 19,000, flip for $7.50. At least they move quick. That's one good thing about San Francisco. Staten Island, buy for 6,500, sell for $3, but anything on the $3 floor, it's pretty hard to sell those because then you're playing, there's an extra element there where you're playing the markup as well, so it's not as simple as, not as simple as it seems. If you are buying for the UPX to selling for USD, you have to pay more attention to that because you could be buying a really small upsquared property and then it's harder to sell that for the USD if the floor is stuck on that $3. Currently, your best bet to buy for UPX and sell for USD is Stockton. Buy for 4,400, sell for $3, but again, $3 floor, so take that with a grain of salt. Trenton's not too bad, 4,666. Again, sell for $3 though. Same in Detroit, buy for 4,499, sell for $3. What else have we got? I did see a lot of double digits here. There's so much red this week. There's very little green. What do we got here? Bronx smashed in the USD, was $4.90 last week. Now under $4, $3.89. Where else did I see double digits? New Orleans down on the UPX, up on the USD. Was on the $3 floor last week. Now up 26.7% to $3.80. Oakland down 13.3% on the USD, was $4 last week, now under $3.50. Rutherford, of course, that's there. Santa Clara holding strong, actually. Buy for $38,888, sell for $17.88. And that's up 19.2% on the USD. Might be worth looking into there. Tokyo, yes, smashed, both on the UPX and the USD. And Washington as well was 19,500 last week, down 10.3% to 17,499, and $7.50 last week, down 14.7% to $6.40. Yeah, wow. I'm out of the flipping game at the moment because I have to save up for the next city release, probably the Genesis week one. But yeah, ouch.
See, I've been going the opposite way to you. I've been trying to get some UPX to buy in Washington or mint in Washington, and I've been having a lot of success with buying in Manhattan and flipping. Yeah, I bought one property yesterday for $8 and flipped it for $64.
In Manhattan?
Yeah. It's a tiny little one right up the north end of it. I know, I nearly fell over when I saw it, and I thought a sniping bot would pick that up real quick. But no, I was able to grab it, put it for sale for $64 and sold it within a couple of hours.
Yeah, they tend to move pretty quickly. Manhattan, San Francisco, Rutherford's, they don't really tend to move as fast. Santa Clara moves reasonably quick. Yeah, that's surprising. $8, wow. Crazy.
I got one for $8 and one for $13 and flipped them both in 64 and 69 without, in no time. So that's a good return on your money. So if you're not aiming to hit a 3x, if you go in the USD into UPX route, if you're not aiming to hit a 3x, you're not doing it right. I mean, 2x is a no-brainer, obviously, and it's still not bad, but you should aim for the 3x and you should get close.
Even San Francisco is pretty good. Buy for $7.50, flip for $19,000. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's about 2.5x. Yeah.
At least they move fast. That's, like I said, that's one of the good things about that. You don't have to sit on it for days and days and days. But yeah, wow. All right. Interesting. All right, we'll move on to neighbourhood ratings. Now, this is the website's still down, so I had to search through. Somebody asked, where's the new leaderboard? And somebody put the link in. Thanks for people that did that. This is it here. What are we? We're in the second week of May, and they still haven't taken Quailwood off. Come on, Upland. So, assuming they're off the list, we've got Greenwich Village would be in first place, 13.231, and Bayswater behind at 13.195. Praia de Bandera, 13.166. I'm not sure that we're going to keep tracking this because I think this is just going to be, May, June, July, August, September, October. No, I think this is just going to just go through the list. I don't see anything in here that's going to make a big, massive push, although maybe Evergreen Lasher might do something. It's a fairly decent big community there. Strupwood, maybe.
Are you able to look at where St. George's, Bermuda, does that come up on the list at all? Remember how, because everybody was building there, and I wondered if that would actually even show up.
Let's have a look. Bermuda? Oh, God. I'm not going to bloody uncheck all those.
I don't know how many people said that, how many businesses there are and how many home addresses and whatnot, but...
Bermuda only. St. George's score 10.8.
I don't know.
They're nowhere near. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
What about Tahoe? Because there's that little spot in South Lake Tahoe where I've got a bunch of properties that it's nearly 100% built out. Where's that?
Yeah, but it's not currently being built. Isn't that the metric that was sort of the problem?
Yes. Pioneer Village, that's it. Same, 10.3. Yeah, so they're never going to get anywhere, unfortunately. It's just the shitty way they put that whole thing together.
I've given up on them.
Pretty sucky all in all. So, yeah, I don't think I'm not going to keep covering that. It's one of the same with we'll look at the Blossom Season Pass drop 6 next. I'm not going to keep covering that either. I'm certainly not going to buy it. It seems like they're just going to do more of the same. If something suddenly comes out that's just, whoa, this is awesome.
I was going to say, they bring out the next level where you have a chance. So those that already are a collection, such as your Midtown, can go up another level. Yep. And then that'll that'll actually change everything. So, maybe that's when we need to start looking at it again. But they've been saying that for 2 years, so...
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, Midtown Terrace can't do anything because it's already as built out as possible.
But we don't know what the metrics will be for established nodes going up the next level, so it could be entirely different. We don't know.
Maybe. Yes, all right. So if you're listening on the Spotify, we're just looking at the Season Pass... what was it? Number 6 drops. You've got a Gearbot purple background, and then I think there's just 3 color variations, isn't there? There's a pink one, and there's a gold one. Yeah. And that's
short.
So, yeah.
I didn't see else like some. I don't know if I missed it or he didn't do one. I didn't see him comment about this week's drop.
Go on a wild rant. No.
Not that I saw, but maybe he's just given up.
Yes.
I don't even look anymore.
I would suggest probably so, because, yeah, like I said, I'm certainly not going to buy them. So, I mean, if they were going to be cool, I'd certainly keep an eye on it if they were things that were really cool, but it's just doesn't seem like there's a hell of a lot of effort going into the whole thing. So, we shall move on.
It's not flower season, it's robot season.
Yeah, I haven't got that from the start. It is blossom season. Well, where's the freaking blossoms? There's freaking steampunk robots. Like,
it would have been better off calling them season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that way we couldn't whinge about it not being themed. I don't know.
Put our Pauline Hanson wigs on and say, please explain. Yeah.
Most of the world doesn't get that one, but anyway.
No, Google it. Yeah, it's worth the effort. So, yeah, I'm not going to keep covering that. All right, we'll move on. We're kind of talking about this before we got kicked off. We did have the nominees for the Community Awards 2024 come in. So thank you very much for everybody who voted for the I don't even know what the name of my channel is called. What is it? Upland Down Under. And for Ben68, if you voted for that, or Upland Down Under, thank you very much. Upland Community Awards, celebrating this year's nominees. The trophies look pretty cool this year. They're all ready to go. Creator of the Year, and they got a little blurb there, making a world of difference. Excellence Award, Player of the Year, and Leading by Example, Broadcaster of the Year. I don't know about leading by example. It should be talking a lot of shit. Broadcaster of the year. So, player of the year, who did we get? We got Rodrigo. Rodrigo would be a very worthy winner. Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot of data analysis. He's, of course, heavily tied in with the Quailwood node. Elijah Judah, of course, the founder of the Real Node LA. Super influential and inspirational guy. Great person to talk to if you haven't had a chat to him. Super open, friendly. He'd be definitely a worthy winner as well. Musita, of course. Love Musita. He's already won it before, though, so yeah. But massive person in the whole Brazilian community, but he does a lot more than that as well, so would be a worthy winner, but he's already won it. So, and Human Sim, of course, who doesn't love Banana Man? He would also be a worthy winner for all of the stuff that he does, not just in the Upland Discord, but with the guides and everything else that he does, and supporting a wide range of people here, there, and everywhere. So, any one of those would be very worthy winners. Who do I think? Well, I don't think Musita will take it out because he's already won it. So, Rodrigo, Elijah Judah, Human Sim. Rock seems to have kind of slipped away from the mainstream scene a little bit. I'm sure he's still working away as hard as he can. So, if I had to put money in, I'd say it's between Elijah Judah and Human Sim. That's a tough one. Probably because of all of the layer 2 stuff that Elijah Judah's done and what he is doing, my money's on Elijah taking that one out. So fingers crossed. But as I said, anybody would be a worthy winner. What do you reckon?
I would have guessed Masita, but if you're saying that because he won, he's sort of ineligible, like I don't think that's the case.
He's not ineligible. He could definitely take it out. I just think, yeah.
I agree with you. Rodrigo sort of dropped back, like you said, probably still doing as much work, but he's not being as front to the community as he was when he was appearing on the UPX podcast and stuff like that. Masita's just got the support, but then it's not voted by the people, is it? It's voted by Upland, so so that probably levels out the playing field a lot anyway. So,
absolutely.
Me personally, like Elijah's probably the only one I don't really know that well.
You can go back, have a look through the old Wine and Cheese in the Metaverse show. We interviewed him a couple of times. He's a really awesome fella.
Yeah,
he does cool stuff.
I haven't seen him lately and don't know much about what he does. The other three, obviously, very prominent. And there's 1,000 people, maybe not 1,000, but there's hundreds of people that would be eligible and worthy winners.
Yes, absolutely. Lily said in chat, I would love Nana to win it, but I think Elijah has done so much he should get it. Yeah, I agree. 6 weeks. 6. I can see you putting the camera on. Did you want to be added to the stage so you can chat live? Just let me know in chat, and I can do that. So that's for the Player of the Year. Next up, Broadcaster of the Year, the Goldsmith. Some dickhead called Ben68. Thank Me Later and Too Stupid to Win. And James UK Metaverse Macmillan. Goldsmith. He's done a lot of stuff way back in the Uplando show. Of course, he does his own show. He's kind of thereabouts every other day. So, anyone here would be a worthy winner as well. Myself, I'm never going to go to Las Vegas. I'm never going to be really concerned with the kind of fanfare and yada, yada, yada. Too Stupid and Thank Me Later, they've been nominated every single year. You'd have to say, surely it's their turn. You would think so. So I reckon they're in for a shot. And Metaverse I was going to say Metaverse Macmillan. Sorry, Mill. Metaverse Millen. Who knows? Might be a dark horse, that one. So I would think it's probably down to the UPX dudes and the Goldsmith, and because they've been 3 years in a row or whatever it is, my money's on the UPX podcast crew. Any predictions?
But they've been doing their show for best part of 5 years, haven't they? So that's got to count for something.
Would be 4 years, something like that. Yeah. Yes. All good, mate. So yes,
I agree with you on that one.
And Designer of the Year, of course, old mate D-Tech. That was the only one that I voted for that actually came through. Now, contrary to popular belief, he did not win last year. He was featured in Genesis Week because he won some other design challenge. It was like design something for Genesis Week. He won that. That's why his video was included. He did not win Designer of the Year. I believe that was Antique Master. We were kind of talking about that before we got kicked off. So he's there. Charles FR. He's got some cool stuff going on, and Manu Miyoto 21, and of course the one and only Desjack. I don't know on this one. It's a bit tough on this one. I think no offense to Charles, but I hadn't heard of Charles before. I don't know how active. It's got to be a he, hasn't it? Charles is in the UGC community. D-Tech is a well-known figure, so he'd be a very overly deserved winner. Manu Miyoto's kind of a newer face in the space, but doing a lot of cool stuff, as you can see. And Desjack has been here, there, everywhere. So if I was going to put my money on it, it'd be on D-Tech or Desjack. Obviously, for reasons that should be pretty obvious, my loyalties lie with D-Tech, but Desjack would be an incredibly worthy winner there as well.
I'd be amazed if D-Tech
opinions
didn't win.
Yeah, but that's what everyone thought last year, and he didn't. So, yeah, who knows? Lily said, I want Desjack or D-Tech to win due to all the hard work they've both put in over time. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of... That's why I kind of hate these things, because both those names, you can't tell me Desjack doesn't deserve to win it. You can't tell me D-Tech doesn't deserve to win it. Somebody's going to walk away if they care about this sort of stuff, which, you know, I've famously been ranting for ages that I don't really give a toss about it. But if you get nominated, especially if you were to go to Las Vegas or whatever, got to leave a bit of a bad taste in your mouth. But yes, good luck to everyone and hope it all works out. Yeah, Desjack lobbies on behalf of UGC almost daily. Absolutely, she does. Yeah, a fierce lobbyist as well. Always harsh but fair. And of course, everything she's got going on with the donut server, helping new players get involved and, you know, get started. There'd be no end of people have started their UGC journey because they, you know, got involved with something that Desjack had got going on. So that's what I mean. It's D-Tech absolutely deserves it because he hasn't won it. He's done a hell of a lot of work, but then, as I said, so does Desjack. So that's why I find this whole thing just kind of vulgar.
You like that word now, don't you?
I do. It's my favourite word. But that goes back to the old Pantera days too, so who knows. Making a resurgence. And like we've kind of talking about this before it got kicked off too. The winners find out that they're the winner before it all happens anyway because, you know, you get emailed. So obviously if I don't get an email in the next month or however long it's going to be, what's it only? It's only 30 days away or something.
Yeah.
No, I haven't won. That's why. The whole thing just seems very kind of wank the tank to me. But anyway, don't want to rain on anyone's parade. Good luck to everybody. We'll leave it at that. All right, let me catch up on my notes. Where we at? The Mathilda Studios. Now, this was an interesting one. Bit of a chatter going back and forward through the week on this one. There was... Some people had spied some little strange-looking buildings getting built, and there was people sharing that here, there, and everywhere. And of course, as often happens in these situations, Lisette followed up with I Spy with my little eye. Psst, Mathilda is building some dev shops, and we're excited to see what they have in store for us. She said, let's help them build, and yada, yada, yada. There's a whole bunch of shops. Queens, Berlin, Chicago, San Francisco, Sao Paulo, Washington, Rio, Las Vegas, Tokyo, and London. They've got their little logo there, little doggy. So then there was a lot of speculation straight from the get-go. Oh, we're getting pets. We're going to get little pets in Upland. There's been talk about that for ages, but if you actually go on over to the Mathilda website, if we did get pets, it's more likely we're going to shoot them in the face. Because it says here, a next-generation blockchain game studio, we are creating universal economies driven by player ownership. We believe that true ownership of digital assets, verifiable scarcity, and integrated secondary markets are the future of games. There's old mate Doggo there with his spacesuit on. So, yes, it does look very pettish. But then we create amazing experiences. Then we got some kind of fighting robot things. And it says here, we develop state-of-the-art AI and blockchain tech to enhance gameplay and boost monetization. That all sounds good. We create engaging NFT collections with utility as a cornerstone. That sounds very good. Tokenomics, Web2 plus Web3 cross-platform. We are Mathilda. So what do they actually do? Where did I see this? Our projects. Ravio. Ravio is the first game to gamify machine learning. Players will collect small robots called Ravios to equip, train, and battle. It will be a multiplayer, cross-platform play-to-earn game, first on PC, then mobile and consoles. And then this, I believe this is the one that may be coming to Upland, Guntech 2. Guntech is a casual arcade shooter. The game features single-device multiplayer as well as learning AI-driven opponents. Guntech 2, well, there you go. Look for Upland by Mathilda Studios is coming soon and is already available on other platforms such as Xbox, Atari VCS, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. We are bringing the Guntech 2 franchise to Web3 in 2024, so that's obviously in reference to Upland. So if you want to get a head start on this, it says it's already available on other platforms, so maybe get on over and check it out. Casual arcade shooter in Upland. Sounds fun. I just wish it could be played within the actual Layer 1 experience somehow, rather than some external bloody thing. It's just so clunky on mobile. Just hardly ever works. I don't know. You excited about this? Meh. What do you reckon?
Personally, I'll just wait and see. I'm getting too old to play games, I think.
Yeah, I've got my own first-person shootery game that I built way back in the day. I'd love to be able to port that over and get that into Upland HTML5 build, but I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I opened up my old files and looked at the code, and I was like, for what code I could read and remember, it was just a horror show. So I kind of closed it and backed away slowly. It's kind of one of those, if I win the lotto tonight, what is it, 60 million tonight? Something like that. If I win that, well, maybe I'll think about trying to relearn my shitty old code. So wait and see. But yes, looks pretty exciting nonetheless. Where were we up to? So that was that. This was a funny one. Did you get any FOMO for these bobbleheads that don't bobblehead? Like, what are they? What was this? I laughed out loud when I read this.
Nope, didn't participate in that whatsoever.
Nope. Yeah. My gosh, I thought this was hilarious.
Everything I've had in the last week or two has been on Washington, so I've got no money spare for anything else.
Well, this is Washington. Look, there's a tweeting
yeah,
surprise.
but
Washington,
I can't
DC.
use them to treasure hunt, can I?
Oh, you maybe mark them on your property. Yeah, Patriotic Bobblehead map assets are here.
Well,
register for a spot in the queue to grab one of 4 models. Yep.
I've already had too many late nights. I don't need more. They were sold out when I saw them.
Worth it? Oh, there you go. I forget the price on them. They weren't cheap.
$11.99 or something. I think they're $11.99, something like that.
But that's for a single. It's basically just a static map asset. There's plenty of people that are putting statues out like that. So
Upix price probably 35,000.
Yeah, bobbleheads that don't bobblehead. What's the point?
Get the lights on.
True. Yeah, I thought maybe, oh, wow, when I first read it, bobbleheads, oh, shit, we're going to get, like, animated map assets. That's cool. And then we're not. So, yeah, I just thought that whole thing was quite bizarre. All right, anybody else got an opinion on that one? Lily got 2. Wow, good on you. They were still available there in the morning. Got 2 old-timey ones. Yeah. All right, maybe they're... we see these things, too, where on the first look at this, you think, oh, this is crap, I'm not going to buy it. But then a month or 2 down the track, they'll have some other sale, and you can only take part in that if you essentially the whitelist comes from owning one of these. So who knows? Who knows what they do? There may be some future utility baked in there somewhere, but there certainly doesn't appear so on first glance, at least. So that was that. What other big news came in through the week was, of course, the Chapter 1 Sparklet Airdrop came through. I kind of touched on this on the Blockword Beat podcast through the week, so if you missed that, I'll kind of cover a bit what I went on there. So as part of that, I said, in Upland Metaverse news, Upland's Chapter 1 Airdrop concluded with much anticipation as participants eagerly awaited their Spark tokens. Unless you were like poor old D-Tech and forgot to bloody link your account. Goodness me. Anyhow, following the distribution, I, as a participant, initially praised Upland's allocation. I put a tweet out saying I think Upland nailed the numbers on the first drop. It was more than expected, but not an outrageous amount to raise concern. What do I get? 0.17 for level 3, something like that. But then the excitement of all that soon turned to astonishment when it came to light that one particular participant had received an extraordinary amount, 41.6 Spark, valued at over $19,000 at face value. This revelation sparked widespread discussion within the Upland community, of course, with many of us questioning the fairness of the distribution system. I don't think it has been 100% confirmed that is where that spark come from, although every indication appears that is the case because the person tweeted about it as part of the whole thing. It was a bit weird in the blockchain data. There was four distributions, I think, of 10 Spark, and then one of 1.6 Spark. That's a lot of Spark to get dropped on you for doing a few likes and retweets, isn't it? Swally, who was the player that got 41 Spark? I forget. It's a new player. I do have a picture here. I don't know if I captured the... Maybe... I think they might have been tagged in there. Hang on, let me pull that up. So I'm not talking completely out of my cake hole. This one. So yeah, this is the thing I put together for the Block Web Beat podcast. Yeah, so I said might have spoken too soon. Does it say the account there? No, it doesn't. And yeah, Satoshi's View, well-known community member, very long-term player as well. He kind of talked about it as well. And he put some figures together, which was very interesting. So he did some research and looked at what does it take to buy a Twitter account with, I think that the account had 2.3 million followers. According to his math, costs about $8,000, and you can buy yourself a Twitter account that has that many followers. And of course, that's a pretty good return if you then just got dropped with 19,000 Spark worth for the first chapter. There's more of those to come. So he said, it's almost a no-brainer.
But surely Upland thought of this. I mean, my first thought when I saw this was, I wonder how much it costs to buy followers, because it's not uncommon that there's a lot of accounts out there full of bot followers or whatever. And it was my first thought. It never, for me personally, I never got past it. I never Googled it, never went any further than, I wonder how much it costs. I just didn't care enough. I've already got a reasonable amount of Spark, and I just didn't care enough. But, I wasn't surprised with this story, but I was astonished at 41 Spark. That sort of grinds my gears a little bit. I don't mind, even the 1.7 Spark or whatever you said, 10's a lot, but 41 Spark for, like you said, a few tweets, that grinds my gears. I mean, other players have said they don't like treasure hunters getting Spark and toiling away. Well, at least we put the hours and times, and owners of the properties are getting the send fees. We're buying properties, so at least we're contributing to the game. What has apparently maybe they've brought some new players in, but I don't know. 41 Spark just seems outrageous, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Absolutely, and it's more complicated than just buying followers, because the account is a very old account. I think from memory it was 2003 or 2008 Twitter account. So there's that part as well. So like, I couldn't just go and buy 2 million followers and then suddenly I'm going to be level 10 because my Twitter account's not old enough to achieve that metric. So there's no indication or there's no confirmation that this is a purchased account or a bot account or anything like that. But as kind of Lily said in chat, if you look at the impressions or the eyeballs that person's tweets generally get, the numbers are not that much more than your regular Joe Blow account. So there seems to be some kind of disconnect in there somewhere. There is that whole thing as well. Now, we did have, I think it was CERN S4 had a look through, or it might have been Tony-san, had a look through on the blockchain. And obviously, if somebody suddenly gets 41.6 Spark, then they jump pretty high up in the overall Spark leaderboard. It's a name that just pops out of the blue that you've never seen there before. They kind of seem to think that there was nobody else in that list that they didn't recognize. So that suggests that perhaps this one person has taken out the entirety of the level 10 Sparklet or Spark pool that was to be distributed to all the level 10s. But that I've been saying for a couple of days, that seems weird. Why would Upland set the level 10 pool at 41.6, a weird number like that? Surely it'd be a rounded off number. I don't know. It's all a bit strange. But no matter which ways this goes, if probably more so, if this was a purchased account and then they've had this windfall, like 19k worth of Spark gets airdropped to them, word on that's going to spread like wildfire. And I think I said in Upland General last night that maybe that's the method to Upland's madness. Maybe that's, it sounds weird, but maybe that's what they're looking to do, because after all, Spark doesn't cost Upland anything. It's just a token they created, so they could just dish Spark out willy-nilly. On face value, as I said, it's worth 19,000, but it's not like Upland's had to dish out 19,000. That's just come out of thin air. So,
right. Can I just segue for a little bit? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I want to bring up something that's a very similar number, and I'm probably just drawing straws and way off the mark. But have you noticed there's a new building in Dallas?
Yes, we've got that in the list to touch on.
Oh, you have? Because that owner of that building has 41.5 Spark.
Yeah, so there was speculation there too that perhaps this is some kind of partnership that fully hasn't revealed. But if you look at the person's tweets, something doesn't match up, unless they're just being fully coy and like being super secretive about it or something. So it doesn't seem to be that way.
But I mean, it's a name I've never seen before, which obviously would suggest it's a new account. I haven't gone into all the details. Maybe I should.
It's a brand new account, yeah.
And it has 41.5 Spark staked on a build. It's a very similar number. To me, it's too much of a coincidence. It's got to be maybe something to do with it.
But the builds that they're building are just like townhouses and ranch houses and shit. It's not like they're building like a massive factory or something, is it?
No, they are. They're building the aeroplane factory. It's just outside the current area of Dallas. It's a massive.
I know that one, but that's not the person. No, it's
not the same person, but it's the same amount of Spark.
622 Hillcrest, yeah, MV Aviation, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was another part of the whole back and forth too. Is it appeared that the person that got this massive Sparklet airdrop didn't achieve their Uplander status until after the snapshot was taken. There was some weird goings on as well there. Like they're a brand new just turned Uplander account, so. I don't know. I don't know. That's all yet to be, to be disclosed or found out by the blockchain rippers or the investigators. But, as I said, regardless, suddenly being airdropped 19 grand's worth of stuff for a few clicks and retweets and likes, word on that's going to spread like wildfire. Whether that's through the crypto airdrop space, that is massive. You're talking millions and millions and millions of people and hundreds of thousands of scammers all associated with that. So I think this next Chapter 2 phase, that's going to be absolutely... It's going to be very interesting to see how that
the next phase is the G Week, isn't it? So I don't think
I think we're going to get one before that.
I don't think
we're going to get one soon. Because it was... I think they might squeeze it in. Oh, maybe not.
We'll see. We'll have it.
Because there is
can of Coke on it.
Can of Coke. I don't drink Coke, but sure. How about a line of Coke? So, as part of it all, that Satoshi's View tweet, X1 did reply to that, and he kind of said that they are, of course, adjusting the airdrop metrics, and they're gonna this next chapter or whenever that's going to be is going to focus more on impressions and engagement. But yeah, this is the other thing. It doesn't matter what Upland does or what rules and regulations they set. As I said, the crypto airdrop community is massive. It's full of scammers. It's full of you name it. And if there's an angle, if there's a way to take advantage of the system, it will be found. It's just as simple as that. It will be found. So, yes, very, very fascinating stuff indeed. So... what did I say here? I went on for a bit of a rant. Yeah, so I've kind of said my last paragraph here. The real insight into the psyche of all this won't play out until the Sparklet gets listed on the first exchange. I think it might have been actually Desjack reached out to the player and got to talking with them, and then they seemed like they were pretty cool. They were interested in Upland and started building, and they had a lot of questions. So it might be just a new committed player. Hopefully that's the case. That's the best case scenario, of course. But yeah, hundreds of people getting dumped with, you know, tens of thousands of dollars worth of Sparklet. How that's all going to play out, we're not really going to get a grip on that until Sparklet gets listed on an exchange, and then it'll be clear as day. If that all gets just dumped, then that is what it is. If you're somebody who's looking to buy Spark for cheap, that might be very good news, but if you're looking to sell it, it might be very bad news indeed. It's one of those wait and see deals. Definitely fascinating, and got the community talking about a whole lot of stuff through the week, which was cool. Right, moving on, something else that just popped up. I only just saw this before we got kicked off, actually. Upland has been featured in a new article by block leaders. It says here, ICOs are dead, long live ICOs. Okay. In 2017, ICOs, if you don't know what that means, initial coin offering. So it's like buying a cryptocurrency before it ever gets listed on an exchange. It says stormed into the Web3 space, and anyone with access to a beer mat had a disruptive business plan to pump their project. Yeah, I rode the ICO craze. I got into crypto 2017, so it was heavily in 2018 and a little bit in 2019. It was literally, as I said, it was crazy. Why are they talking about ICOs here? Here on Block Leader, we delve into some of the innovative new projects that take the golden ticket of funding raising to new levels and standards. Our first example of remodeling the Web3 funding machine is Upland, the digital economy game whose roots are very much in the US. Yes, aren't they indeed, with their bloody PT fixation. Read all about what they're doing here. That's a very old picture. That's hilarious. And then there's a bit of history here about what Upland is and how they've always kind of pushed the being in line with the SEC and blah, 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 blah. Picture a nice headshot there of old mate Dirk. As a layer 1 metaverse, Upland is open for players, entrepreneurs, Spark economy. Yes. There are currently over 130,000 Spark holders in Upland, and 93.6% of those who purchase Spark have used it to build in Upland. That's cool. Talks about Ripple, white paper, Spark. The launching of Sparked. Bit of a typo there, as an ERC20 token on Ethereum. And in October, the community voted by an impressive 87.25% to approve the decision, and that's to bridge on over to get officially involved in crypto, blah, 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 blah. So that's a pretty good article. The link to this will be in the description. There's a lot that it covers there. Might be worth checking out. As I said, I only just saw this before we got kicked out, so I didn't have a good read of it myself. Hang on, what's this? Because we're going to talk about this later. Ahead of the Sparklet launch and the bridging event, Upland is also conducting a number of airdrops, many of which operate on a reward system where supporters fulfill certain tasks to earn points, which will in future be swapped for Sparklet. Luth is not particularly concerned about the presence of airdrop farmers. There you go. He says here, we already have a strong community with 3 million users. I think that's so disingenuous to keep throwing that number out. We already have a strong community with 3 million users, over 300,000 NFT holders. Okay, so if you've got 3 million users and 2.7 million of them don't even own one NFT, they ain't users. So I wish they'd stop using that. Over 300,000 NFT holders and some 130,000 players in Upland who hold Spark. Many of them are strategy gamers. Others come for the Roblox for grown-ups type experiences. Okay, put a pin on that. We're going to talk about that later. But the value proposition goes beyond gaming. There are entrepreneurial opportunities in the platform where people can create value and make money. Yes, not through speculation, but by creating digital assets. Okay, very good. Yeah, that's such a hollow number to say we've got 3 million users. Stop doing that. That's just dumb. Really, really dumb. As I said, link in the description if you want to check that out. All right, move on to the main topic for this week. Well, I've put this down as the theme for Genesis Week for 2024 is Sparklet Gives You Wings. Now, before we get into why I think that's kind of a very weird choice, we'll have a look at what that was all about. Where is it, this one? So yeah, Sparklet Gives You Wings. Of course, they were tweeting that thing, they hints to that thing, and it turned out to be a private jet kind of aeroplane thing. Pretty cool. Unveiling the theme for Genesis Week, we are thrilled to announce in bold and in quotes, Sparklet Gives You Wings as the official theme for this year's Genesis Week and Genesis Live. This year's Genesis Week theme represents our boldest vision yet. Certainly bold. To say Sparklet Gives You Wings, anyhow, we introduce private aviation and expand the horizons of Upland. What were your first thoughts when you saw the plane and realised that private aviation, which has long been speculated as coming, has been officially kind of announced that is definitely coming? What do you reckon?
What was my first thoughts? How about we get other things right first?
That was exactly my thoughts. I think the first thing that popped into my head was I can think of 20 other things that we need before we need private airplane transportation. I was actually going to put a video together about it, and in the end I was just like, is there any positive benefit of putting a video out there like that, or is it just going to be me ranting and raving more, which I do incessantly anyway, so I just kind of put the kibosh on it.
My second thought,
come up with a list of 20.
My second thought was, okay, we're going to have a car that flies and will do the exact same travel mechanics as a car, which means you park it in your backyard, and if that's the case, that sucks. Then my third thought was, hang on, if they do this properly, like, I don't know about other areas in Upland, but Queens has 2 airports, one of which is not opened, being LaGuardia or whatever it's called. Like, make that a private airport, and I think if you own a plane, you have to own somewhere to put the plane, like a hangar or something.
You got to park it somewhere?
Like real world. So to be eligible to buy a plane or own a plane, you need to buy a property, which in itself isn't going to be cheap, to park the plane in the first place.
Maybe they will open up like almost like parking for planes properties near the airport. Something like that. I think
you just make the airport, like if you don't need 2 airports at Queens or for the 5 boroughs of New York, you have one public, one private. Now, obviously, the private one's only going to be for the big players, so even you might be able to afford it, but I won't be able to. But yeah, if it's just a car that flies, I mean, the cars go over water and everything anyway, so, and maybe it goes there 4 times faster than a car or something, like, cool, but really?
Wow. Yeah. I won't be able to afford it because you can bet your bottom dollar that this is going to be USD only sale.
No, I don't think it will be.
You don't think so?
No, the cars weren't, and I think this will just be a car on steroids. I think it'll be more expensive. It has to be more expensive. It can't be cheaper than a car. So, I mean, there might be some USD style ones or something, like maybe the high demand ones or something like that, mint ones or something like that, but I think the vast majority will be UPX. Or at least half anyway.
Yeah. Because that was always the case, wasn't it? The cars were always UPX sales originally, and then people would flip them for USD. But everything's flipped. There was a funny debate I saw, it might have been last night or this morning. People were saying, is there another currency other than USD in the game? And there was this whole sarcastic thing. Yeah, UPX. UPX, what's that? Never heard of it. What do you do with that? That was pretty funny to read all that. So, yeah. Would I want a nice, black, shiny private jet? Yeah, absolutely. Of course I want one. Am I going to FOMO into one? Never going to FOMO. I did my dash on that when I FOMO'd into my S1R. I'm not going to fall for that again. So,
what about if it's under $1 million UPX?
That's a no-brainer, but it ain't going to happen. Not for months and months and months. Look what the car, especially the S1 car market, that was bloated for well over a year. So, unless the supply is crazy.
Like I said to you ages ago, like I'm looking forward, if it ever happens, to having a plane or having a airline brand, so to speak. I've already got it planned out in terms of name and all sort of stuff. But that only works if I can then transport other players around the map, or better still, pay someone else to transport players around. Because I don't want to sit there and fly a plane. But this is not it. So.
Bingo, bango, bongo. What do I want more than I want a private jet that's going to park somewhere and I'll hardly ever use it? I want my bloody semi-trailer that I paid for my bloody truck. I want paid transportation mechanics. I want to be able to move stuff either automatically or, like I said, hire somebody to move it. I don't want to move these frickin' things anymore, one at a time. I've completely and utterly burnt out with that whole system. Factories turned off. I've got decor map assets everywhere, and the thought of just starting to move them all again just makes me sick in the stomach. Give me bloody semi-trailer. Well, that's got to be pushing 2 years, hasn't it? 18 months at least.
They were sold about the time I started the game, so that's 2 years ago. So it's getting close to 2 years, very close to 2 years.
Yeah, and then of course we're going to have private planes come out, and then it's going to be boats and jet skis and freaking who knows. So yeah, this
is what I was interested in though. Like one of those planes, I think the one that you win was a commercial plane or something, 6-seater commercial. What do they mean by commercial? That's the question I'd love to know the answer to. What do they mean by commercial?
Yeah, but we got passenger vans, and it doesn't mean shit unless they actually do it. It doesn't mean anything. Like, we've already been waiting years and years for this stuff, so I don't know. The whole thing just seems... I get it, they got to keep the lights on the office. The planes themselves look fantastic. The idea is fantastic, but there's so much other stuff in the background that needs to be done, so...
I thought boats would come before planes, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. I definitely dig it, but yeah, I mean, wow. And they're going to give away that one at Genesis Week, so that's a pretty hell of a prize. Pretty awesome prize. So,
and eligible for all of us that aren't there too, which is a nice change.
Oh, was it? I didn't see that. That's cool.
So there's 3 passes they're giving away, which will only be eligible to attendees. What a pass means, I think Goldie touched on that. Does that mean you're just eligible to buy one, or does it mean you actually get one? Because it doesn't really say. But the one that they're giving away, from what I understand, is eligible to anybody that participates in different activities during G Week. So
that's cool.
Which is a nice change, because obviously we get excluded from all of that stuff.
Yeah, and they're not streaming any of the stuff as well. That kind of really sucks. But
but a lot of other content creators are saying they're going to. So touch wood that they do that.
They said that last year, and Alan C was the only one who did anything. So talk is cheap.
I think that because Upland aren't doing any, I think maybe they'll step up their game a little bit. Goldie's definitely said he's going to do a bit. A few others have said so. So hopefully Elslack does attend. He's like, I'm umming about it. Talk your missus into it. Get down there and do a few videos as well. That'd be great to see.
Nice. That would be. Imagine Elslack on the sauce, like his tongue's on the loose, like just normal.
I wish I was there with him. I'd be sick. That'd be my FOMO coming.
Couple of cocktails in.
You talk about FOMOing, that I'd be pissed off to see that and not be there.
Yes. So if you haven't seen already, Swally was talking about, I believe this is the property you were talking about.
Yeah. Outside the skirts of Dallas. That player, so MV Aviation, doesn't even show up on the Spark list. So if you go to the tools and look at all the different Spark, I don't understand how that's possible.
Well, it's like MV Motors or whatever.
Yeah, that's on the list.
Idea.
Yeah, but it's on the list.
Oh, is it?
All the other ones, all the like the FIFAs and all that sort of stuff are all on the list. But this one, doesn't show up. So it's definitely not the same as the Spark Drop person we're talking about earlier. I've looked that up and I can see what you're talking about there. So I saw a tweet about this, and maybe if they do a prize, or maybe it's worth throwing a little tiny bit of Spark on there, like a lot of people have. I've chucked a tiny little bit on there. Who knows? Upland might.
That's what you said. Yeah.
Maybe Upland might do some sort of giveaway or a Block Explorer giveaway like they're doing for the Empire State Building at the moment. Who knows? But if they do announce it, you're probably almost already too late getting on, because it's so hard to stake once it's been announced.
Yeah, once it's announced, it's all over Red Rover. All right, so while you were talking there, I've pulled up MV Aviation on good old UPX land. Net worth just under 30 million. Total Spark, yeah, so that is their total allocation, 41.5. Interesting. They became an Uplander on May 7th. So, yeah, this is all a very recent thing. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. All right, so going back to we went on a bit of a wild rant there. So my whole point, the thing that stuck out to me the most about this whole, the theme, Sparklet Gives You Wings, that's Red Bull's trademark. What are you doing, Upland? What the hell are you doing?
Surely they research. Surely they know that they can or can't do it. So,
I don't know. It's freaking. That's what. Maybe there's more to the story. Is there some kind of? It seems crazy. Is there some kind of Red Bull partnership in the works? I can't imagine so.
no,
and even if there was, I can't imagine they'd let them use their trademarking, their branding.
But is it something that you can't use? Like, I mean, I don't understand this world at all, advertising stuff like that. But
well, the good news is, mate, that I did a bit of clickety-clacketing before we got kicked off with our good old friend ChatGPT. So I'm sharing this on screen if you're on the YouTubes. If you listen on the Spotify, I asked ChatGPT a series of questions. So the first question I asked was, does Red Bull have a copyright trademark on the Gives You Wings slogan? The reply was yes, Red Bull has a trademark registrations for the slogan Red Bull Gives You Wings, which is used globally in multiple languages. The slogan is a significant part of Red Bull's branding and marketing strategy, of course. So if we go on over here, you can actually see the trademark details, Gives You Wings. Yep, so that is an official trademark, the Gives You Wings part. So it's not, the trademark isn't Red Bull Gives You Wings, the trademark is Gives You Wings. Okay, so fair enough. So the next question then, of course, is can another company use a similar slogan without any legal implications? For example, Sparklet Gives You Wings. ChatGPT's response was, using a slogan that closely resembles Red Bull gives You Wings, such as Sparklet Gives You Wings, could potentially lead to legal issues, particularly if it's used in a commercial context that might confuse consumers or dilute the distinctive character of Red Bull's trademark. Okay, so Sparklet Gives You Wings isn't a energy drink, but it goes on to say Red Bull could view this as an infringement of their trademark rights, leading to a trademark dispute. Companies typically need to ensure their slogans or marketing materials are sufficiently distinct from existing trademarks to avoid such conflicts. It's just a dead set ripoff. It's just utterly bizarre to me. So I asked ChatGPT what might be some of the legal ramifications. It rattled off a whole bunch. If a company uses a slogan like Sparklet Gives You Wings, which closely resembles Red Bull's trademark slogan, Red Bull Gives You Wings, several legal ramifications could arise. I'm not going to read all this, but it says trademark infringement, of course, dilution, false association, damages and injunctions, legal costs, and it concludes companies are typically advised to conduct thorough trademark searches and consult with legal experts before launching new slogans or marketing campaigns to avoid such risks. Surely Upland has an army of lawyers that check all this stuff. That's what I mean. There has to be more to the story. It can't be something that they've overlooked, surely. Or that they just think, oh, we're just going to roll the dice and see if we can get away with it. Utterly bizarre. So the last question I asked was, has Red Bull ever sued for a company doing similar? And it spent a bit of time, actually. I was watching it scroll through a whole bunch of different things. And it's finally spat out. It appears that there are no specific instances where Red Bull has sued another company for infringing on their Gives You Wings trademark. The search results primarily focus on cases where you might remember that Red Bull was actually sued for saying Red Bull gives you wings, but doesn't actually give you wings. There was that whole thing they settled out of court for 13 million or some bloody thing. Some mad genius. Some mad genius sued him for 13 million or was. So good on them. So
it's ridiculous. It's like a criminal trying to break into your house and falls through the roof because it's faulty and suing the owner for a faulty roof. It's just such a joke.
But they fucking win, Swally. They
win. I know. It's you wonder what's wrong with the world when shit like that happens.
It throws me bananas. Yeah. So yeah, that's this. Oh, like I am now. I'm almost speechless. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that they would overlook this or roll the dice with it. That's why I say there has to be more to the story. Has to be.
Well, worst case scenario,
I
they could
hope there
destroy
is.
Upland.
Yeah, exactly. They could get their ass sued off. It's bizarre. So, yeah, I don't know. Makes me a little bit nervous, a little bit worried, but yeah. What does Bill and Man say? We'll wait and see. One day soon, maybe eventually, we'll get an idea. But yeah, it just seems really bizarre. Surely there's some alternatives they could have used, and that's a bit of a hint at what this week's weekly challenge is going to be. So stick around so you can find out how you can get involved in that. All right, moving on. We've got 3 QIPS to cover this week. If you haven't heard, QIPS are Upland-related questions, insights, provocations, or statements that we can dive into in the weekly Upland Down Under podcast. There's a link to the QIPS Google form in the description. If you fill that out and you include your in-game name, and if we use it on the show, you win yourself some kind of prize. This week, we start off with a statement from CernS4, who says, Upland Chief of Staff Danny, in a recent Upland YouTube video, compared Upland to being the adult version of Roblox. Now, CernS has quoted Danny as saying that, and we just read a thing where Dirk is saying that now. So clearly that's somebody in Upland head office has written on the whiteboard, they've had their meeting and they've gone, well, let's call Upland the adult version of Roblox. That'd be cool. So CernS4 goes on to say, could a partnership with Roblox make sense to both platforms? And or is there an ideal metaverse or game other than Roblox that Upland might or should consider strategically as a possible option to contemplate as a partnership, acquisition, merger, or other alliance? What do you think? Is Upland the adult version of Roblox?
I am not qualified to answer that because I know absolutely nothing about Roblox.
Well, I can tell you, Roblox has some astronomical amount of daily users.
I'm aware of that. Millions, yeah.
Hundreds of millions or something stupid. My kids play Roblox.
Yeah, I'm aware it's one of the biggest games in the world. And I think Fortnite overtook it for a little bit, but I think it's back in front from what I understand of it. But yeah, it's not a game I've ever played, nor will I ever play it. But I don't know. I mean,
there are similarities. I think the user-generated content angle is definitely a similarity. Like Keanu, my middle child, he watches all these videos, these content creators, they make these games and they do all these things. I sit there and laugh my ass off. It's funny as, it's entertaining as hell. Like these little mini games and challenges they put together. So there's that. But is Upland an adult version of Roblox? Maybe, but Roblox is so far ahead, it's not even a comparison at all.
Look, it's a good goal or, something to aim for. So that doesn't worry me or upset me that they're aiming for that or trying to compare themselves to that, because you get halfway there, you're still doing all right.
That's right. And the second part of what Senna said was, is there an ideal metaverse or game other than Roblox that Upland might partnership, blah, blah, blah. Well, we've already there's existing partnerships as far as that, what is it, the Omni-3 Alliance or whatever it is, Sandblocks, Decentraland, Dirk's always out and about here, there, everywhere, shaking hands and kissing babies at all these events with all of those guys. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that happen. But then that's kind of the flip side too. Like, almost the distance between Roblox and Upland is pretty much the same between Upland and Decentraland and Sandbox. They have their name out there more. They have probably the financial value and the investment in them is way more, but they've got no users. Like, you go to Sandbox Decentraland most times, unless there's some specific event on, that's just a freaking ghost towns. So, I don't know. There's been a few come and gone through the years that I've touched on in some other podcasts where you think, oh, this would be a great merger with Upland or, Portal. If there was some kind of portal in Upland and you could zap through. That's kind of what we got with the, isn't that the Nowhere thing and that whole 3D layer 2 thing? So it's kind of like that.
I still think not my simulation idea, but the simulation idea of having truck driving and plane pilots, stuff like that in the game and transporting goods or people and stuff around, I think there's a huge potential there. That's the direction I personally would like to see Upland go.
Yep.
Play a layer 2 game that has a direct effect on layer 1, where people could potentially, depending on your lifestyle and where you live, stuff like that, but potentially earn full-time income just being a virtual pilot in Upland. Like, the potential's there, and I do think that is a future that the internet's going, whether Upland goes down that road or not. But I think in 10, 20 years' time, it'll be common that you're an online virtual something or other as your full-time job, like streaming is today. Like, how taboo was that when we were kids?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the potential's there. Like, let's hope that they just
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you did right there. We'll have to wait and see. Good question, Sones. I kind of had a bit of a giggle at that too. That now that's two people from head office that are comparing, Upland as the adult version of Roblox. But maybe it will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Aim high.
Yes. All right. Next up, we've got 6 week 6. He's in the call tonight. He contemplates private air transportation ? Big money, right? He speculates further, saying, "Will we go to space? Maybe we can get some good games out of it. Upland Defender, Upland Gallagher." Well, we've already seen the Mathilda partnership, so I guess the answer to that is definitely.
Upland to the moon. Literally. Buy a plot of land. How are you going to map that? Buy a plot of land on the moon.
There you go. Now, just while you were talking there too, I pulled this up. I'll do a bit of a self-spooky thing. So I said before I created a game that I'd love to port over to Upland. I believe that's up, is it? You can see that? Yeah, so this is my game, Broodstop, that I coded. This is a crazy, like, ballistic level. Like, it's a kind of secret level that I put together. The first simple version of this game, I won a game jam for it. But yeah, this is one of the crazy old games that I put together. It gets really hectic and chaotic. So I would love to be able to put this into Upland somehow, but yes, I'm going to have to win the lotto to do so, unfortunately. So yes, Upland shootery games. I love those sort of games. I love idle clickers. I love those kind of arcadey action shooters. Yeah, sounds good to me. But yeah, it has to work on mobile. That's my biggest thing. All right, and finally, from Laban, who's also in the call tonight, he asks, why aren't Upland using in-game voting for the latest voting? Instead, they are using another external service to facilitate it. Well, what's the bloody point? That's my word saying bloody there. What's the point of calling Upland the super app when you need to use layer 2 services? I've been saying that for the longest time. He goes on to say, sure, they are moving more and more and more to the in-game chat, but the voting was not something that should come as a surprise for them come May. Absolutely. So I think we were talking about that before we got kicked off, weren't we? Like, they have a voting system in there. Why aren't we using that for things like Player of the Year and blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. We should have used that already for the vote that we just had.
Doesn't make any sense not to. It's there.
It would have been a lot easier and probably have more people participating if it was right there and just click on it. I nearly forgot altogether. Yep. It was only, I think someone put a post literally hours before it closed, and I was sitting I was out with the missus sitting and waiting for this thing to start, and I was like, oh crap, I haven't done that yet. So I quickly jumped on and threw L-Slack my vote and toss head, so I didn't go too well.
Yeah. Why aren't they using it more often? Maybe it's a programmer thing. They don't have enough people in the office to set it all up or deal with it on the back end. But then someone had to put that whole website together with that external voting thing we did. I don't know. Why wouldn't you use a system that's there? Everybody wants to get more involved with voting. Whatever happened to the bloody neighbourhood voting, like voting on all of the stuff as part of your neighbourhood collections and whatnot? That's all another thing that's gathering dust on a bloody whiteboard in the back of a storage cupboard somewhere in Upland head office. There's so many ways that they could use the voting system. But yeah, for some reason, they're not. Don't know there, Laban, but very good question indeed. Hopefully somebody in head office is listening. Maybe it jogs their memory. Maybe they forgot about it. Maybe they forgot they had a voting system. Who knows?
Possible.
So cheers for that. Cerness, 6 weeks, and Laban. You've all earned yourself 10,000 UPX after fees. Reminder that if you submit a QIPS and you want to claim your prize just like they did, you have to include your in-game name. Otherwise, I can't send it to you. And as we start to wrap up, we'll look at another Dynamic Node Builders Getting to Know You Community Members Spotlight, care of Mesme and other members of the Dynamic Node Builders team. This week, they're featuring Sir Red, who is currently a director with a net worth just over 3.6 million UPX, with 269 properties and just under 8 Spark. His home residence is in the Sherwood Forest neighbourhood of Detroit. I'm assuming it's a he. Sir Red has to be, surely. If not, I apologise. Sticking my foot in my mouth yet again. Let's have a bit of a sneaky peek at what Sir Red has got going on. So, Sir Red, yeah, 3.6 million and change yield per month, doing all right. Over 50,000 without the boost for a fairly newish player. And what was I going to look at? Progress chart. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty solid looking chart right there. Let's click that out there. Number of properties tracking up. Pretty good there. Linear for a while and then starting to go a little bit excited there, a bit of exponential there at stages. Let's get rid of number of properties and look at this. You'd love to see this, don't we? Some bit of play around there. Properties net worth, mint net worth. Look at that. Crossover there. Currently, the mint net worth is way ahead of the properties net worth. Mint net worth 4.3 million, properties net worth 3.6. Now, I balls this up every time, but I'm right there, aren't I? That means they've
buying
bought
USD.
Properties, yeah, buying properties cheaper than.
And when the market's under 30%, like, why wouldn't you?
Yep.
Like, I mean, I know you're in a different position to what most of us are where we're trying to build, but like, like if you believe in Upland, which I do, and you have a long-term, like right now, there's not a better time to be buying properties. So many quality cities, you can pick them up for under 30%. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, if you can make use of the USD, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if
that's
you've got the spare cash. Yeah.
That's really good to see a new player, well, a newish player, being able to take advantage of that system. Absolutely. I will pull up mine as a comparison. Look how wide my property's net worth is, or how far away it was from my mint net worth. Yeah, the other way. And that's purely that's node development there. That's buying up inflated node properties to finish out Midtown Terrace and all of the other various node projects I help with as well. Obviously, when I went on that big selling rampage, I managed to get it a bit closer together. But the gap that's left, what do we got there? 91 million and 112 million. So that's pretty much all of that's pretty much invested in Midtown Terrace.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find any player that's been in the game a long term that would not be in the same sort of position that you're in with the
position.
Because you can only get the green on the top by buying USD, and after a certain time, you're not buying USD anymore. So it's going to close and then eventually flip the other way when you're picking up collections and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
I think you'll find any account that's like 4+ years old is always going to be the way you are.
Absolutely. All right, but that's not supposed to be about me. This is about Sir Red. So let's have a look at his responses here. So we've got in-game name Sir Red, Uplander since March 2020. Actually, so they've been around for a hell of a long time. I must have missed that somehow. March 2020. Crikey. Yeah, wow. Okay, so they must have came in. Let me have a look there. I won't pull it up again. So they came in. Where's the number of properties? That'll probably give me a bit of indication. Let me get rid of that. Number of properties. Yeah, just did nothing for the longest time, but recently got more active. So that's cool to see. Bucket list, own land and some animals. Tattoos, yes. Been to Vegas, no. One thing you will never do again, say never. Never say never. Pet peeve, dumb people. Most important thing you own, car. Guilty pleasure, really good food. If you could start a charity, grow a food forest. Superpower, teleportation. Ooh, that's a good one. Famous fact about where you live, Buddy Holly. Would you survive the zombie apocalypse? Absolutely. All right, gotta love the confidence there.
A lot of people have that confidence, don't they? I'd be like, no, I'd be dead in the first wave.
I certainly wouldn't be. Yeah, anyway, I won't go there. That's a weird thing to talk about. That's for off air. So yes, that's all about Sir Red. I had a look around. I couldn't find Sir Red on Twitter or anywhere else. So apologies, Sir Red, if you are on Twitter. I did have a look around. I couldn't find you. I did go over to Upland General, had a bit of a sneak peek through your post, but there's only like 12 posts or something for an account that's so old. That's a bit strange. So Sir Red is very active somewhere. Just I couldn't find out where as I was getting ready for this show. Maybe it's something to do with the Sherwood Forest neighbourhood. Maybe he's heavily involved in that node. Don't know. Anyhow, if you'd like to get yourself involved in what the DMB's got going on, or if you'd like to learn a bit more about somebody else, then send Mesme or any of the other Dynamic Node Builders members a DM, or click the link to the DMB Discord server in the description. Say good day and tell them the UDU podcast sent you. All right, that brings us up to the giveaways part of the show. Now, last week the challenge was to get yourself in the contest channel within the NBA server. Let us know what your Sparklet Airdrop level was. How many points did you have? How much Sparklet did you get in the airdrop? And what are you going to do with it? Of course, if you didn't get involved in the campaign, you just had to say so, and that was going to be a valid entry as well. Prizes, your name will roll on a list of all entrants for the chance to win 10,000 UPX after fees. And don't forget, of course, this will also get yourself another entry into the big end-of-year 2024 prize draw giveaways, including, I have committed again this year to the big grand prize of 1 million UPX after fees. So let's give that away if I can find the thingammy-bobbo. The stupid-looking wheel. Here it is. So thank you for everybody who got an entry in. Who's going to take it out? 10,000 goes to Chad. The media might have it. Woinasa. That was a borderline one there. Woinasa.
He's had some good luck of late.
Absolutely.
He won one of my.
That was Woinasa.
Yeah. He won one of my Spark ones a couple of weeks ago.
Cleaned up. Yep.
Yeah.
Swally, are you able to go and find out what Woinasa's reply was while I give away the bonus prize, if that's okay,
certainly can.
Thank you, sir. So the bonus prize, 5,000 UPX this week, that goes to Elslack, whose entry was points 4,440 out of 7,200 for level 2 with a 4x multiplier, and he got 0.07 spark. Now, why did I pick Elslack for this one? Well, I think you'll probably get it when I read the rest of his little entry here. In quotes, I damn near shit my britches with excitement. I then immediately attached that one to one of my buildings in Granada Hills and walked away with a smile on my face. End quote. So yes, thank you very much for that, Elslack. That gave me a bit of a chuckle there, as you always tend to do. All right, Swally Man, what did Woinasa say? Woinasa said level 2, 6,000 points out of 7,200 for a 5x multiplier, received 0.08 spark. Oh, so yeah, that was one of the things too. I incorrectly put it out there that it didn't matter how many points you got. Level 2 was level 2, level 3 was level 3, but no, that was incorrect. There was some margin for fudgery is not the word. What do you call it? Variation.
It was, yeah. Both myself and my missus were both level 2. And I got 0.07 and she got 0.08. So, okay. Just because her account's older than mine.
Ah, yes, that would do it.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the weekly prize draw. Now, sorry, the weekly competition. Now, before we do the live participants, I got to let you know what we're doing for this week's challenge. I've kind of given hints to this a bit here and there as we've gone through the show tonight, but it is, of course, get yourself in the contest channel within the NBA server, ride the lightning, and let us know what you think about the Sparklet Gives You Wings theme. Also, drop your suggestion for an alternative Genesis Week 2024 theme, just in case the bloody old lawyers do go knocking on Upland's door. So, yes, link in the description to the NBA server. When you get in there, find the contest channel. Let us know what you think about the Sparklet Gives You Wings theme and suggest an alternative, just in case Upland gets its ass sued.
All right, because I'll be listening.
So the prize, your name will again roll on a list of all entrants for the chance to win 10,000 UPX after fee and yet another entry into the end-of-year prize draw giveaways. There's a few people that haven't missed a beat, so good on you. They're going to have plenty of entries in for the end of year prize giveaway. One last thing tonight to do, and that is to give away a prize to our live participants. I've been jotting these down as we go. We had Caesar, Lily, Swali, of course, Laban, Maui, thank you for supporting as always, 6 weeks. El Slack jumped in. El Slack getting up at 2 a.m. like a champ. I don't think I missed anybody today. El Slack, Laban. Yep, all right. So this is going to be, once again, I'll start mixing this up. I'll try and mix this up from next week, or I added some extra things in. But for this week, it is going to be, again, your choice of a love heart jacuzzi or a red garden bridge. And that goes to 6 weeks might have it. And he does 6 weeks 6. So 6 weeks done very well. 10,000 UPX for the QIPS and a map asset to boot. Thank you very much, mate. It's as simple as that if you want to get involved and win some shizzle. Like I said, over 625,000 UPX and 40 map assets we've given away already so far this year, and it's only the start of May. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Swally?
I was just saying it's awesome. I can't think of any other shows doing that. I know the boys over at the Ninjas are probably giving you a run for your money.
Yes.
But,
yep, absolutely.
Outside of them, yeah.
Yeah, we tend to, we've done this in previous years too. You tend to focus on the end of the year, and yeah, this is the first year I've ever tracked it from the start, so it's going to be, I've got no idea what I've given away the last however many years I've been doing shows. It'd have to be over 10 mil, I would guess, but yeah, anyway, it's a bit of fun, and it doesn't cost me anything. It's all dividends, of course. No. I'm not picking up cans in the street so I can give bloody Roy Nasser his 10,000 UPX, so it's all good. I don't mind sharing a bit of love here and there.
That's quite profitable, though.
Yes. That reminds me, I've got 10 boxes of it I've got to go and do. That's one of those things. All right, and don't forget to check out what the Vulgar Uplander Elslack's got going on with his community fundraiser campaign to raise money for sick kids. You can get involved until May the 12th, so still plenty of time to get involved. You can head on over to any of his MetaVenture shops to make a USD purchase, or you can go directly to his Extra Life fundraising page and make a donation, or, as I said, get in contact with him. I'm sure if there's a way you can help, he'll work out a deal with you somehow, some way. And don't forget to give him a like and subscribe on his YouTube channel. And the link to all of that, of course, is in the description. And as we're wrapping up, a reminder that if you are in a time zone that fits in with the Thursday night recording schedule of starting at 7 p.m. AEST, or you hate sleep and you like getting up super early on a work night, well, you can do that too, I suppose. And if you want to get involved, the link to the weekly podcast will always be dropped into the NBA server about 15 minutes before we get kicked off. And that invitation extends to any of the other channels' podcast productions. I have said that I need to get back into making some of these interview ones. I was going to book one this weekend, but then I realised I got the concreters coming around on Saturday morning. We're putting 3 slabs in at home. All care of Upland Flips, so that puts this weekend out. So I'll try to squeeze one in. I'll try to get one lined up for the week following. Well, that's it. That's all we got this week. Best of luck to you in everything that you're out and about attempting to do, and we shall catch you later.